All right, so I wanted to do this right this time and actually do a full lesson of Carry On. Here I have the Banshee Mach 7. Doesn't require a whammy bar, but if you have one, the song is so much more fun to play with one. And I also have a Sustainiac. You don't really need the Sustainiac at all this song. So above me, I have the tab. Just like my other videos, you don't click on the screen. It's just a video. It's a much better layout, in my opinion, than the tiny ass lettering on center. Anyway, so here I have on the top, I have Sin's part, and on the bottom, I have Zach's. I didn't learn Zach's. Primarily, I'm just going to be going over Sin's part. But the entire song is basically a duel between Zach and Sin, or on the album version, just Sin and Sin. But got a couple Sin secrets to go over too on how to play this. Now, this is, from my understanding, most people regard this as the hardest song to play by Avenged Sevenfold, and I disagree. It's actually very easy. Sin is cheating. Sin has a secret trick that he is doing when he plays this that makes this significantly easier than it looks, and I'll go over that when we get to it. If you want to play along to Zach's, you can. I'm gonna just go. Like I said, just go over the parts that are necessary, but I'm basically primarily just going to be going over Sin's part at the top here. Another thing to note is I have this in drop A, and it's a 7-string, so I do not have it in drop D. So I'm going to transpose the open D chords to the 5th fret on the 7-string. I'll note when I do this. I might record with the other guitar, but probably not. So this is open D. If you're on a 6 string, this is just the open palm mute on the top 6 strings. So this will be the 5th fret for me, but it'll be 0 for you. I hope that doesn't get confusing, as I'm probably not going to re-record this after this. So before we get started, I'm going to go over some tone here. I have tone. Here I have just a kind of a quiet pedal to tighten things up. Ignore the pitch shifter. But I have a parallel compressor with these settings. It was to match Sin's the best I could. There is a harmonizer, and this is really important. I have they're both up an octave, but I have one's kind of way up there, and then one's just barely. And then the mix is pretty much dry. It's just barely in the background. I have this harmonizer. So when you set it your octave up, make it so that when you mix it in, that it's just barely felt in the background. It's not actually audible. You don't hear like 2 different notes or 2 different guitars or 2 instruments happening. It's just you hear your main just guitar by itself, and there's just a slight like felt harmonized tone in the background. And if it feels like that, then you have this right. Obviously, Tube Screamer, just slam that level at the top. No drive. Tone is meh. And then I have just the Randall. This was to emulate his Bogner. Very low gain. Very low gain. Levels cranked. Bass this way, the left. Mids are just fairly high. And trebles clear right. Some density and some presence. If you don't have these, you don't need to worry about that. This is going into my delay set to this. And a gate expander. Now what this does is it acts like a limiter in a sense. It just kind of levels out the volume to be kind of one level. And you can kind of set this to a specific, here's my amp settings, mic placement, yada yada yada, slightly off center. And then you get this. So because I have this tab, I hope it's not too hard to read. I'm not going to mention every fingering. But eventually you just slide up to the 7 on the G, and then slide up to the 8 on the B, and then there's this little bar here. All this is bridge pickup too, by the way. Slide up to the 10 on the E. Whenever you bar this 8, if you use your, I'm using my middle finger here, but whatever finger you're using, if you go to use this part of your finger right here, to fret the E string, you want to let off on the B string to mute the string, so it's clean. So. And then if you're playing Zach's part, and of course, after you want to do the most longest stretched out pick scrape you've ever done in your life. Essentially, I'm not using a pick here, so a fingernail scrape, I don't know. I'm just gonna take my fingers and just on the lower strings, all 3 of them, or 4. Make sure you time it right, because you got to go right into a... The trick I'm going to show you later on is definitely useful for this entire intro bit, but it's not really necessary. So I'm just going to... So you have to watch the rest of this video if you want to know. But yeah, so right after that pick scrape, there is on... If you go to the 13th fret on their pointer finger and your pinky on the 17th, it's basically this position, and it's this arpeggio. That arpeggio, but we're just going to use the top 3 strings. And every time that we go up to the E string, we're going to go down a fret where your pinky is. I like to use my ring finger. And essentially, it'll just look like this. So starting from the 17th fret, and pull off, and then you're just going to go down, and then back up. And then you're going to go to the 16th fret, and then the 15th. And you're going to end it on the 17th fret B string, because you need to do some wide vibrato. If you can do that here, go for it, but... but from there, you're going to go down to the 10th fret. You're going to bar both the G, B, and then your pinky on the 13, and then... Same thing again, you're going to go down a fret. And then this one is a bit weird. If you do... No, pentatonic lick. You're rolling your finger over that B string. A quick overview, if you haven't seen my other video, just hover your pointer finger or your finger over the B string. Don't fret it in, just hover over it. And then rock your arm over top the string without fretting the B string, and to fret the E and the G string. And that motion, you can kind of just, it's easier to understand what to do with your finger, and then you can start putting pressure on that B string. And you get it very clean. Again, still in the bridge pickup here. You're gonna want to try the neck pickup. Don't. You'll see why later. Break it up into sections, and this was the first section that I did. So, end on that B string on the upstroke, and then it's just a little pentatonic lick. Just play it long and pretty slow. And next you have the full sweep back at the first arpeggio position. Whenever you're going to ascend on that last part, your middle finger should be free to just, right here on the 16th fret, right above it, there's a natural harmonic. You're going to pluck both the G and B string. perfect. It's hard to play the song slower, apparently. The trick here is this whole song is to play it slower than you really think you need to. Don't rush it. Except this part. This part's definitely fucking fast as fuck for no reason. This part's pretty simple. I'm just gonna let you just figure this out. We got the fucking dual arpeggio sweep. Zax's is actually a bit easier, at least I thought so. It's actually pretty simple all in all. We're starting out at the 12th fret, and you're gonna do another bar sweep just on the B and E. This entire bit's just 2 strings at a time, and you can pretty much do this however you want. I kind of economy pick sweep it a little bit, where I am picking up on the 15, pull off, and then I'm picking down on both. Down on the B, down on the E, and then up on the pinky. Pull off. And you're gonna do this little clean things up. Still on the bridge pickup. Each transition between different positions is going to start on the pinky. Going from the 12th, barring the 12th fret, and then you're going to go to 14, 17 position. And then do this. And then go up to the 15, 19. And then you're going to go back down to the 12, 15, but you're going to do the, you're hitting the 13th fret instead of the bar. And then back to the bar. I'm just going to play this hella slow. And yeah, the tab's up on Songster if you want to slow it down. Tony Lazzuto. This is the part where I revealed the secrets. All right, so Sin is totally cheating here. The reason why we've been in the bridge pickup this entire time, in case you didn't know, there's a little trick you can do. Either if you suck shit or play really sloppy, this will actually kind of clean things up a bit. So primarily, in my other videos where I've talked about palm muting with the right, and there's a lot primarily going on with just the right, with a little bit of left, but this one is entirely just left hand muting. Whoops. If you were in the neck pickup position, you'll hear a lot of this. And again, I have very low gain. It's boosted, but it's relatively low gain. Hell yeah. But when you're in the bridge pickup position, you'll still hear it. But when you're fretting a note, so I'm going to have my finger in just this 15, 13, 12, G, B, E, well, E, B, G. If you notice, I'm only going to fret the note that I want at the time, but I'm going to pick through all 3 strings. If I were to just fret the B string, resting my pinky and my pointer finger on the G and the B string, in the neck position, and the bridge, it rings out and you don't really hear all that, especially in a mix. You won't even hear it when you're playing. So whenever Sin is playing this lick, if you've tried to play this song before, you'd think you might need to alternate pick this, but you don't. Just stop. You don't. You don't economy pick it either. I know there's a few of you who are watching it are going, what the fuck is he talking about? No, I'm serious. You sweep this entire thing. So he is, on the parts that you think you need an alternate pick, sweep through the B string and use the bridge pickup. So, here, I'll play it slowly.